in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convey.
Thank you and welcome to Tattletales. Nice to have you with us, and thank you. That was lovely. I hope wherever you are, it's a nice, pleasant fall day. In California, it is. It's always a pleasant fall day or a spring day or whatever you'd like. We usually have that in one day. And here are some people who are going to make everybody's day here nice and bright. Winning money today for the blues section from Alice, Beth, Howland, and her guy, producer Harvey Friend. Winning money today for the banana section, Carolyn Bean and her husband, Mr. Orson Bean. And winning money today for the red section, Becky Anderson and her husband, Mr. Bill Anderson. Well, here we are. We're finding out things about one another, aren't we? We're living and learning.
Ooh.
You hang around, you learn.
Find out some things you didn't even want to know.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Okay, if you're all ready to go, nobody
Especially
seems
me.
to be too gabby. Let's get on and do it, shall we? First question's worth $150.
We'll be the judge of that.
Oh, okay. Men, a doctor might define this as superficial epidermal hematic effusion.
Really?
Hugh Downs, my... The dictionary defines it as a reddish mark on the skin, usually the neck, caused by kissing. Most of us just kind of call it a hickey. Fellas, have you ever given any woman a hickey? Think it over. We'll come back in a moment. Now, do you believe that? Can you imagine snuggling up to some little darling and saying, "Darling, I'd like to give you a superficial epidermal hematic effusion"? She says, "You do when I find out about it." What is Harvey going to say about this, Beth?
Ah.
Have you ever given anyone... You never see hickeys anymore. Oh, I don't know. Never. I don't want to get into that. Do you?
You're getting old, Bert.
But I remember, you know, when you were like in high school, people used to have them all the time. You'd see, but
And
you
you're
know,
not in high school anymore.
I'm not in high school anymore. You had to remind me.
Sorry.
Okay, what will Harvey say?
Oh, I guess he was in high school once, so I guess yes.
Okay, is it really are hickeys really a high school thing? You think?
Well, you said that.
Oh, I said that.
I wouldn't know.
Boy, you guys are tough. I can't get anywhere. Okay, you're gonna say yes.
Yes.
Here comes Harvey now. Harvey, speaking of superficial epidermal hematic effusions...
Just as I was.
Have you ever given a woman one?
Well, once when I was in third grade, I gave my teacher one. Yes.
Third grade!
That's the only time, Beth.
That's the only time? You tried it once and didn't like it. Third grade, wow.
I got flunked.
Oh, that'll teach you. What will Orson say?
The questioning has really reached an all-time low.
Well, I mean, I must say.
However, I
reserve.
don't know, in Lewistown High School, we used to practice doing them on our arms so we could get them right. I imagine Orson did.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to think that he did. It's,
Yes.
You know, otherwise, you know, he would have severe psychological problems today.
That's true. Probably.
He probably did.
Hickey-less background could be very damaging. Okay.
If he didn't yet, I'm sure he will.
Okay.
Before the night is over.
I think that's a yes. Here comes
Yes.
Orson. Orson, the technical term, of course, is superficial epidermal hematic effusion. We know what we're talking about. Have you ever given a woman a hickey?
Well, Bert, better a hickey than a herpes.
Who said that? Somebody famous said that, didn't they? I don't know.
Bert, I am by nature a gentleman. I am not, you know, like I am not a you know, frustrated vampire. Welcome to Transylvania, Dr. Harker. What a lovely throat you have, my dear. However, once, after sucking the juice of a dozen sour kumquats, I inadvertently placed a hickey on the neck of a debutante from Shreveport.
Yes, that's correct. You're right. You comment on my question, Carolyn, and he gives an answer like that.
I take back what I said.
Quote, as George Browning once said, better. Becky, what would Bill say?
I'm sure that surely he has.
Yeah.
I mean, gee, it certainly
He
would
gave me
be
one once.
disillusioning if he hasn't. So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Surely.
a guy like Bill, are you
And all
kidding?
his worldly travels, certainly.
What? Here comes Bill now. Bill, we're just calling it simply a hickey. I mean, let's call a hickey. Fella, have you ever given any woman a hickey?
Yes.
That's right. I got one. That's what I got one. You said you'd say. You're all right. We split that 3 ways. Hooray for hickeys. Welcome back. Just a moment. With question number 2. I'm sorry about that one. You'll let me have one, won't you?
March is a time for passing words
Lovely.
Glamorous.
Yes.
and super wins.
Heart. Organ.
It's Buzzer's Super Password March Marathon.
I don't know about you, but I'm still excited.
Starts March 3rd on Buzzer. Let's play.
Are you looking?
Here we go. Question number 2 coming up. This is a very urbane. This question will certainly make up for the lack of sophistication of our first question. Are you ready, gentlemen? Worth $150. The manager of a famous bar recently said that most drinkers cannot tell the difference.
Most drinkers cannot speak English.
All right, come on. Most drinkers cannot tell the difference between cheap liquor and expensive liquor. Huh? Any host who doesn't fill expensively labeled bottles with cheap liquor is a chump. That's what he said. Because most drinkers cannot tell the difference. Do you know anybody who does this? In fact, put cheaper liquor into the more expensive bottles so that no one can tell the difference, yes or no? Do you know anyone who would do that or who does that? Think it over. Okay? You know what people do, though? I know that they do take wine and get, and use it as a decanter. There's a certain make that you can use as a decanter later. And we'll start with you, Carolyn. Do you know anybody who
We're
did
pretty
this?
cheap, but we serve it right in the cheap bottle that it comes in.
Just unscrew the top
I don't
and
know
say here.
anybody. Yeah, I don't know anybody that does that. I had a woman working for me once that watered down the gin, but she didn't even add cheap gin. She just added
It's just water, so the level stayed the same.
Yes.
Old trick.
Yes.
Okay, you're going to say, no, you don't know anybody that you know of. Of course, you can't tell the difference, it says here. It says most drinkers. I wonder if you really can. Well, I guess not.
I think you can tell, but I don't really drink booze anymore. We only drink wine and beer. Really.
Yeah. Okay, didn't say that, though. It said liquor. So you'll say no, you don't. Here he comes. He says most drinkers cannot tell the difference between cheap liquor and expensive liquor. Do you know, Orson, anybody who does fill expensively labeled bottles with cheap liquor?
I'm not sure about you, Bert. But although I've had experiences in nightclubs where I questioned it, I don't really know anyone who would stoop to such a dreadful practice, no.
That's right. That's what Carolyn said.
And if we don't know them, they don't exist.
Right, because we know people who stoop to pretty dreadful practices.
Yes, right. Listen, that's an interesting point you brought up, though, about restaurants and places, because you don't. That's where you really don't know, I guess, more so than.
I sent back a bottle of beer once on the grounds that it wasn't Miller's.
Wow, what a taste bud you have. Becky, what will Bill say?
Gee, that's hard. He knows so many weird people. He does. He knows a lot of weird people. And he's never said anything to me about that. But he's read about it, and he does know a lot of people, so. I'm going to say yes.
He does know somebody.
I don't know, but I'm going to.
Who put
I'm going to try it.
cheap liquor into the expensive labeled bottles, huh?
No.
Okay, she's going to say yes now. You don't know. He knows a lot of weird people, Here he comes. Shh. Bill, this manager of this bar recently said that most drinkers cannot tell the difference, but do you think you know anybody who takes the expensively labeled bottles and fills them with cheap liquor? Do you think you know anybody that does that, yes or no?
Most of my friends are beer drinkers, and it's kind of hard to take cheap beer and put it in an expensive can. I'd say no.
That's not what she said.
Who do we know that would do that?
I just said you knew a lot of weird people, and surely one of them did.
The weirdest one's right up there.
Oh, moving right along, folks. Thank you, Bill.
Wait,
Beth, what about Harvey? What would he say to this?
Well, I think it's a terrific idea. From now on, that's what I'm going to do.
We try to give you little helpful hints,
Yes,
you know.
thank you so much. I've written it down. No.
No.
I don't think he knows anyone who would do
Wouldn't know
that
anybody who'd do
before we got this information.
Right. Now that we've told you that no one can tell the difference, hey, gang?
Wow.
Forget the shivers. All right, here we go. You will say no, he doesn't.
Yes.
Okay, here he comes. Harvey, do you know anybody who would take the expensively labeled bottles and put the cheap liquor in them?
I wish I didn't, but sometimes in the morning after, I think I do. Yes.
No, Beth said no. Look at this. Now, isn't that interesting? You wouldn't. How about that? 2 out of 3 missed that question. It's a fascinating thing.
I wouldn't do it.
No, we know you wouldn't. We didn't accuse you, but we asked you if you knew anybody who did, and you said yes. Beth said you didn't.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
M and C.
M and C? Okay, we've got initials.
Let's go on from there.
Could only be about 400 million people with those initials, okay? Look what happened. Carolyn and Orson got the whole thing for the banana section. It's halftime, ladies. Step to the rear. We'll bring the gentlemen out front. We'll come back with the second half in just a moment.
This is the story. 30% off.
Thought it was wonderful.
Thank you, Orson. We have changed places after halftime. As you can see, the ladies are in the back. And if you're ready to go, this question is worth $150 to your reading sections. Ladies, a recent survey asked women what contributes most to a man's sexiness. Among the top answers were his eyes, his mouth, his voice, and his body. Which of these would you say contributes more to a man's sexiness? I'll run them down again. His eyes, his mouth, his voice, and his body. Off you go. Thank you. Yeah, I remember seeing one survey that said something else. No, it comes under the heading of body. What do you think, Bill? What will Becky say? Body. See? Ladies yelling out body. Now, I saw a survey that said tush, but I don't want to affect your answer. True. I really did. Now, what do you think, Bill? Will it be the eyes, the mouth, the voice, or the body?
Oh, they're trying to... They're over there trying to tell... You know what I think Becky's going to say?
What?
I think she's going to say all of the above, because I think she just thinks men are sexy, period.
Yes, well, that's true, but unless you... Well,
oh, you want me to pick one? You want me to narrow it down to one?
Nixon?
Well, which one most, contributes most to a man's sexiness, do you think she thinks?
I think she's going to say voice.
Yeah,
I think that's what she's going to say.
You got that voice, boy, I'll tell you.
I think that's what she's going to say.
Yeah, well, Whisper Bill's got some voice on him. You hear that voice? I keep expecting a rhythm section and strings to come in behind you. Whenever you talk, I can't help it. I keep wanting to hear that.
They're waiting outside.
They're in the back.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll say voice.
Yeah, I'm going to try that.
Here comes Becky now. Becky, what do you think contributes most to a man's sexiness? His eyes, his mouth, his voice, or his body?
With Bill, it's his sexy voice.
That's it. You got it.
Oh, thank goodness. It's beginning to wonder.
Now, you see, that's very clever game playing, because Becky took it personally. Now, we didn't ask the question personally, Harvey, you understand? We've asked it generally. What do you think contributes most to a man's sexiness? Now, she may take it either way.
Well, with Beth, to be sexy, you have to be short, funny, and Jewish. But since those weren't the options, I guess I'll have to go for the eyes.
Go for the eyes,
yeah,
eh?
Right for the eyes.
Go right for the eyes. Okay, comes Beth. Beth, what do you think contributes most to a man's sexiness? His eyes, his mouth, his voice, or his body?
None of those are what I'd pick. I mean, if I really had my choice. But out of the given things, I'd say eyes.
That's correct. You got it. On the button. Beth.
Yes.
You've already got this right. You certainly don't need it, and the blue section is very happy. But what would you have chosen had it not been, that's not on my card? What?
I'd just as soon not go into that.
I think I said
That's
it.
what I said at the beginning. Is it the tush?
No.
Oh.
But
Okay,
you're close.
never mind, then I was wrong. Orson, what will Carolyn say?
You're not close?
What do you think?
Carolyn also can go for a short, funny Jew.
What's she doing later?
And she has often remarked that you have an adorable bottom.
Me?
You? Well, you have a sweet tush. The world knows that. But
Wow.
I think that I would have to pick eyes, because the eyes, really, I mean, a turn-on is... Listen to me, ladies.
Now, wait a minute.
I know
There's
this
a man
woman.
of experience here.
We have been married 13 years in the eyes of God, 11 in the eyes of the state. The eyes are really the entrance to the soul and to the whole thing that's happening. And a man can look at a woman with his eyes and make her feel naked and randy, you know. So, and the most adorably built guy in the world can turn a woman off like crazy, especially if he says, "What's your husband doing later?" You know. But so I'll definitely say eyes.
Eyes have
eyes.
it. All right, here she comes. Carolyn, what do you think contributes most to a man's sexiness? His eyes, his mouth, his voice, or his body?
Oh, they all sound so good.
It's not a menu, it's just a...
Oh, one of each. I guess really his eyes.
That's it. You got it. You all got it. That was beautifully done. Everybody gets it. We're split it 3 ways. We'll come back in a moment. We've got a $300 question coming up. It's going to decide it for the day. What do you find the most sexy to man, huh? Eyes, mouth, nose,
.com.
Buzzer is now on TikTok. Follow us at buzzer_TV and let's play.
So we got a good close game, and this is a good question, too. Ladies, there's a song out now called Junk Food Junkie, right? About somebody who loves junk food. Which of the two of you would you consider more of a junk food junkie? You or your guy? Good question. Tricky. Think it over. Off you go. I guess a lot of it depends on what you classify as junk food. What do you think between you and Beth, Harvey?
If chocolate is junk, boy, does Beth have it. She is a chocolate freak in the middle of the night, 4 a.m., running to the refrigerator. She keeps gallons of chocolate. Beth.
She's a chocoholic.
Yeah.
Okay. So you will say it's Beth.
Oh, it has to be.
Definitely is. You have no junk food
I'm
habits?
a pizza freak, but I don't go out at 4 a.m. for it.
Yeah. Is pizza junk food? I don't know. Is it? Yeah? I don't know. I don't even know.
Yes,
Okay.
it is, John.
It is?
Depends on where
Okay.
you get it.
Gee, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, you'll say it's Beth. Here she comes. Beth, which of the two of you would you consider more of a junk food junkie?
Oh, me.
That's it. You're right. What kind of junk food do you like, Beth?
Oh, chocolate.
Chocolate. Yeah,
Yes.
you're right again. The money stays the same, but you're right again. We're going to go down to Bill. What will Becky say? Between you and Becky, which one of you likes junk food the most?
Have you ever opened a cabinet and had 19 candy bars, a jar of cashew nuts, peanuts, and I'm not plugging the record, I just thought I'd throw peanuts.
Peanuts and diamonds, that is.
No diamonds come out, but
No,
candy
right.
bars and all these crazy things. Definitely Becky. She eats a lot more junk food than I do.
She does, huh? Okay, you'll say it's Becky. Here she comes. We'll see. Well, here we go. Becky, which of the two of you would you consider more of a junk food junkie, you or Bill?
I have been trying to lose weight lately and been watching Bill eat a lot of junk food, so I'm going to say he is.
No, he said you were.
Becky. Becky, the cabinet at home in the kitchen with all the candy bars, and none of them are mine. They're all yours.
What about all the cookies you eat?
That's
Get 'em,
not
Becky,
junk.
get 'em.
All the time.
That's nutrition.
You know I haven't been eating lately.
Wow.
Well, sorry about that. See, it does get kind of interesting, doesn't it? This is not an easy question, Orson. What do you think?
This
Carol
game
will
could
say?
cause a divorce. You realize that?
We haven't had any divorces. We've had a couple near murders, but no divorces yet.
Well, Carolyn has a secret cache of Milky Ways hidden away from the children. But I am the junk food junkie of all time. If I had to choose between being cast away on a desert island with Sophie Loren and a month's worth of Big Macs, I'm afraid I would pick the Big Macs.
Really?
Oh, I love junk food.
But you're so skinny. You're so slim. How do you do that?
I can't help it. To the conversely, to any known nutrient, I enjoy the food.
There you go.
If there's anything good for you in it, I'm suspicious of it.
I got it. Okay, you're the one. Here comes Carolyn. This is for the game. This will decide it, Carolyn. This is the game right here. Which one of you would you consider more of a junk food junkie, you or Orson?
You don't even need a course in behavior modification. You give Orson a Hostess Twinkie and he'll do anything.
That's it. You got it. Carolyn, Orson, Beth, and Harvey get it. They split the $300. However, our time is upon us, and the Bananas have won it. We shall return momentarily and give the Bananas, and that's not junk food. Oh, no.
Pets are your...
Want to save on car insurance? Insurify gets you the best price hands down. You really save $200 a month. Melvin's payment went from $389 to $164. Stop waiting and see how much you can save today.
Hello, the Bananas have done it with Carolyn and Orson, $400. We had 1,000. They will divide 1,400 bananas. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, too, for watching us on Tattletales. Bert Convey saying so long. I'll see you next time. Bye.
This is Gene Wood speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.